Hello everyone and welcome to my video on counting methods, but more importantly, the addition and multiplication principles, which sort of fundamentally builds into the rest of this course, as this is a new video. My name is Darren from Maths Guru. Yes, I know I said at the start of every video, but this might be the first time you've seen me, where basically I've got a little corner of the internet where all of these videos are and downloadable lesson notes and VCAA exam questions and so much more, and it's free to sign up. Wow, really? Now, behind me are our learning objectives, and it says we're going to understand what it means to be the addition rule, understand what it means by the term the multiplication rule, and be able to apply the above concepts to a range of questions. Okay, pretty standard, yes? Can I recap? Well, no, not really. I don't think we've really covered this in any other part of the course over here in Australia. And again, if you're not from Australia, don't worry too much. So it's sort of new, and as is normal with any topic in the course, understanding of why is as important as understanding of how. Right. What do I wear each morning? Now, I don't want you to think too deeply about that, but one of my favorite authors is a guy called Dean Koontz, and he writes an amazing series of books about a guy called Odd Thomas. Now, Odd Thomas can see dead people. Now, these dead people weirdly can't talk to him. And I say weirdly as if it's a everyday matter of fact. Anyway, and so he basically is surrounded by dead people all the time who effectively are asking him, in many cases, without using words, to solve why they can't cross over or why they have died or all those type of stuff. Now, that's a lot of complexity in his life. And as such, one of the key things about Odd Thomas, other than him being a burger chef, because that's really low mental IQ, is that he has one set of clothes, i.e. he has an infinite number of white shirts and an infinite number of blue jeans. And that's it. Every morning he has no choice whatsoever about what to wear because he's reducing complexity. Okay, now, I don't see dead people much, or leave that one there. All right, so I've got slightly more choice in my wardrobe, and I'm trying to look at how many different ways there are of me getting dressed in the morning. Is that's not a creepy start to a video? Nothing really is. Okay, decision number one. I've decided I obviously want to wear some sort of a jacket. Weather here in Melbourne is all over the place. One day it's 40 degrees, the next day it's minus 23 degrees and pouring with rain. So I've got to go prepared for all of these type of things. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to wear a wind cheater or a jacket. I obviously can't wear both. It would look silly if I wore both. Now I have 4 wind cheaters and 2 jackets. How many choices do I have? Now, again, you're probably shouting at me going, well, that's a stupid question, because 2 plus 4 gives me a really basic 6. And yes, the answer to that is in fact 6. I've got 6 choices. What did I do there? I effectively added those individual choices together. I can't wear them at the same time, so I'm going to add them together. Now, I've got my top. Am I going to wear jeans or shorts? It's again all over the place at the moment, but the key word here is the word or. I have 3 pairs of jeans and 4 pairs of shorts. How many choices do I have? I can't wear them both at the same time. So I've got 3 and 4, which gives me 7 choices of sort of jeans or shorts. Now, believe it or not, we're halfway through the video. I know. The addition rule basically states if there are m choices for one option and n choices for another option, and the 2 options cannot both be chosen, there will be a total of m plus n choices, okay? And again, that's why it's called the addition rule. And on the whole, we can see the word or used in questions. Now, again, that's not always the case, but anyway. Let's see whether we can put this into a practice again. I obviously need to expand my vocabulary because it is fairly limited. At the library, I'm having trouble deciding what book to borrow. Ooh, the choices again. I have a choice of 3 mystery novels, 3 biographies, or 2 science fiction books. How many choices of book do I have? Now, in this situation, I'm assuming I'm only going to be borrowing 1 book, all right, because otherwise I can take all 8 of them, and that seems a little bit simplistic, but assuming I'm going to take 1, I've got 3 plus 3 plus 2, which gives me 8. So in which case I have 8 choices, he says, writing in highlighter. And so let's write 8. Again, fairly simplistic. Now, what happens if there are multiple choices, multiple stages of choice? I'll come back to my sort of dressing in a moment. Now, if that is the case, if there are m choices for a first stage and n choices for a second stage, then there is basically going to be a total of m times n choices. I'm going to multiply the number of individual choices together. And again, although it says here, this is sort of the key to finding the word and That doesn't always work either, right? So this is why I sort of don't like this section. It's a little bit subjective. How do I get to school? When traveling from home to school, I first take. Now, the key word here then is first. It is suggesting to me that I'm going to end up doing something multi-stage. I first take a bus or walk to the main road, where I can then catch a train or tram or bus to my destination. How many ways do I have for traveling to school? Now, we can visualize this if we want to with a tree diagram, all right? There are two choices initially, because before I start and when I leave in the morning, I'm either going to go on the bus or I'm going to walk. So there are my two choices. Now, when I get to my destination, I then have an additional three choices, yeah? And so in this situation, we would use the multiplication rule that would suggest that if I multiply those two together, I'm going to end up with 6 individual choices. Now, again, I don't know what I was thinking when I put that photo there, but maybe some clickbait, lol. It's rained. I've forgotten my umbrella. So tragedy, I don't want to get wet. So I have to return home and now need to change my clothes. I have 6 choices of wind cheater or jacket and 7 choices of jeans or shorts. How many choices do I have for a complete outfit? Well, again, I've got that and keyword in there, but again, I've got 2 choices to make. I've got a choice followed by another choice, a multi-stage thing here. So I'm going to end up with 6 choices initially and 7 choices next, which gives me 42 choices altogether. Now you're going to try and say, why is this important? Believe it or not, it's important for the next videos that are coming up. But I think pretty much that's it. Do I know what the addition rule is? Yes. Do I know what the multiplication rule is? Yes. And can I apply those to a range of complex questions? Not exactly complex, were they? Thank you very much for watching. If you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be massive. It just says, hey dude, we're supporting you, and that someone out there is actually watching these videos. More to come. They can be found on maffsguru.com, free to sign up. Leave a like, tell your mates and your teachers about the content, and hopefully I will see you in another video. If not, take care and please stay safe. Bye-bye.